Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. We got the information from the Lugansk government, the Ukrainian one, that Ukraine mainly took the road from Svatova to Kreminna under operative control. It means that still we are not controlling this road, we cannot put our forces there, but the road is so close to our positions that we can use almost any kind of weapons to target it. And Russia simply cannot use it any longer to supply Kreminna. That is why basically they need to provide logistics from Severodonetsk, which is much harder because all of the bridges from this area to Severodonetsk were destroyed. So I hope that in a few days we'll have the part of those roads under full Ukrainian control. Yeah, it's his true face without any kind of Botox or makeup. Kremlin is getting ready for one more term for Vladimir Putin. They are getting ready for elections. The election year for Russian Federation is 2024. Now the idea for Moscow is to finish the war till 2024. How they're gonna do it, no one knows. They are now in desperate for the peace talks with Ukraine, but we not gonna talk until Russia would withdraw their forces from all of the Ukrainian territory. And even for Putin now, it's clear that Ukrainians gonna fight for the freedom of their own country and we not gonna lose. Russian rhetorics recently went to total circus. This guy who represents the Russian Federation in United Nations officially said that Ukraine was preparing the mosquitoes to infect Russian citizens with special disease that can infect only Russians. But Russia is the multicultural, multi-nation country, and for now there is no any way how you can affect some certain genes of some certain nation. We are not very divided if we speak for the genes, my friends, so it's the total nonsense what they're saying, even from the scientific point of view. This is kind of touching video, the story of one dog. So here is the village, it was demolished by the artillery fire and our soldiers took it over and they found this dog. So it's the car of our soldiers and dog came and it was waiting for the owner and owner evacuated. Unfortunately, they didn't take the dog. I don't know why. Maybe because they were in a hurry. So our soldiers gave some snacks to the dog, some food, and they brought the dog to the owner. So they found the owner and the dog was really happy to see everyone, and it's fantastic. Today there was the meeting between the Russian military commander Shoigu and Putin, and Shoigu said that they already took 300,000 soldiers to the Russian army, mobilized soldiers without any training, and more than 80,000 soldiers are already fighting in Ukraine. So Putin heard that and decided to stop mobilization in Russia. I think Putin stopped mobilization because his rating was plunging down and he is preparing for the next term, as I said to you in the beginning of this video. The mayor of Kiev, Klitschko, said that we reinforced our air defense systems near to the Kiev. It's good. Hopefully we're gonna target many more rockets and we're gonna repair the electrical power plants, and I hope situation with electricity comes better because now we are in a blackout again. President Biden reacted to Putin's speech about the nuclear weapons. Putin stated that he would not use nuclear weapons in Ukraine, and Biden said, so why Putin continuously talking about the nuclear weapons if he is not going to use them in Ukraine? It's kind of nonsense. Lithuania sent some of the equipment for Ukraine to repair the power lines that were targeted by the Russian rockets or Shahid drones. Obviously, without the Western help, it would be hard for Ukraine to repair the power plants and power lines. Basically, we are out of that production. Some of the Poland officials from foreign affairs of that country say that Russia with its actions destroyed the agreement with NATO dated 1997. And that means that Poland would seek the deployment of the nuclear weapons on Poland territory to protect Poland. Chinese Minister of the Foreign Affairs said that Russia is is ready to negotiate the peace deal with Ukraine and United States. It seems like there were some talks with China and Russia, and they decided to come out with this statement. But my friends, we're not gonna talk, as I said to you, until Russian soldiers would be driven away from Ukraine or they will just left our country. Again, from Poland, they ask 1.5 trillion euros compensation from Germany for the Second World War as reparations. We got some similar news 2 months ago, but it seems like Poland insists on that compensation. More military help from the United States of America for $275 million will have HIMARS ammo, 500 precision-guided artillery rounds, remote anti-armored mine systems, Humvees, small armors, and ammunitions. Awesome! Thank you so much for your help. Interesting news from United States. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, who is 82, went to hospital because he got some of the injuries because his house was assaulted by someone. He's expected to make a full recovery. It's good news. British intelligence say that Russian army is unable to go on attacks and just capable to defend themselves in Ukraine. They stated about the lack of the resources in Russian army, we know that, and that Russian army went to construct the defense lines far behind the front lines. The head of Crimean branch of Russian Today media resource, Svetlana Babayeva, lost her life. Then she decided to practice shooting in a shooting range. Something went wrong there. Taiwan officials say that Ukraine is the role model for their country of how to defend the territory and how to fight for freedom. And based on Ukrainian experience, I think Communist China now would think twice before attempting any kind of intervention on Taiwan. Well, we have a potential media bomb here. Rishi Sunak announced the declassification of the Mi-6 documents on Kremlin agents in Europe, including Ukraine. Believe me, my friends, in my country and all across the Europe, there are lots of the Russian agents, and some of them are top politicians. And with that data released from United Kingdom, my friends, there will be a big scandal for some of the European politics. And I think it should be done like that. President Zelensky addresses every evening to the nation, and the last address was accompanied by those remains of the Iranian-made drone. However, my friends, I know that on the backside of Shahid there is the piston engine, 4-cylinder two-stroke engine, and what I see here is the possible other modification of that drone equipped with electrical engine. Or maybe it's the piston engine out there, but I expected that the size of the drone is much bigger compared to what we see on this video. Finally, we got some of the update for the military map. There was no such an update yesterday, but today we got the information that Russia advances a little bit in this area. They took this part of the road and they are very close to Marinka, which is in itself close to the DPR, Donetsk People's Republic, self-proclaimed, obviously unrecognized by anyone except Russia. And let me show you the timeline. So it was 2 days ago and it is now. They took some meters of the ground. No significant advancement of Russians, but still not a good sign. And still we have defense lines of the Ukrainian army under our control. If we go scroll down, you see no major change. On the north here, again, no significant changes. The gray area stays as it is. And during the winter time, I do not expect the significant advancement of the Ukrainian forces because it's really hard to go on offensive operations in winter, and usually army got much more losses during that cold period of the year. So it's better to keep our resources steady, ready for the spring and summer counterattack. And from our intelligence services, we got information that Ukraine is preparing even to free Crimea, to liberate this territory till the summer next year. My friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation here in Ukraine. If you want to support this channel, first of all, just press the like button. If you want to support me financially, there are some of the links in a video description below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal, or Donatello, whichever is more convenient for you. My friends, I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.